And we're back. Sports Next Door. We're here to talk some Combat Corner and a big fight this weekend. It is the third of
Yep.
the trilogy between Conor McGregor and Dustin Poirier. And Max is here to break it down for us. Excited for this one, Max? I'll throw it over to you, my friend.
Yeah, this one coming in not too many months after their last fight, which I don't think anyone was expecting a Poirier second round knockout. I thought it was possible, but thought it would happen in much deeper waters if it was going to. But similar to the last one, there's a lot of confidence around Conor McGregor in the takes and opinions I'm seeing. And I'm wondering if it's the last hurrah of the mystic magic. It has definitely waned for me. It sounds like it's somewhat waned for Owen as well. But there's something about Conor McGregor that makes some people just want to believe and not care when the last time he beat a really high level opponent is. I don't know what that effect was and if or why not it's as present now.
So it's coming to me now. Conor McGregor is the Dallas Cowboys of the UFC, where
Interesting.
it has like the more recent iteration of the Dallas Cowboys have been incredibly mediocre. And I'm not saying McGregor is mediocre, but it's in regards to they are constantly overrated and held to a higher esteem than they end up producing. So the Cowboys, people love betting on them. They're America's team, quote unquote, and they're just incredibly beloved. So people will always bet money on them, on their win totals, on their success, on their Super Bowl odds, things like that. And Vegas always makes a killing because they never hit those projections, right? And so there's a bit of that here with Conor McGregor. Now, before you told me, I asked if he had lost three in a row. He won that one against Cowboy, but you said the Khabib not loss and this recent Poirier loss. So people are, I think, holding him to a higher degree because of what he did 4 or 5 years ago and the heights that he reached and the popularity that he gained. And it's inflated now what he's actually producing. And so that's just what I've seen. I'm a little bit turned off at this point from the McGregor show.
Yeah, and I feel like that's really at stake in this fight. If Dustin Poirier is as elite as it gets at lightweight, and that was the amazing thing, I think, about Conor McGregor's run. This guy who started out just in the UFC like any other fighter, and from his second win, people saying, wow, this guy could be UFC champ. He's knocking out everyone. And watching him rise up through a stiffer level of competition and continue to do that, I'd say peaking at Jose Aldo. I know Eddie Alvarez came after that, but to say like, wow, this guy's knocking out Jose Aldo in 14 seconds, like just like he's knocked out everyone else. To watch that run and like the consistency of his dominance that like never faltered despite step ups in competition just created this incredible belief both for himself and for his fan base. And the ability of him to do that is what's really on the line here. He lost to Khabib. He lost to Poirier the last fight, two of the best lightweights of our time and ever. And he's all about the rematches, right? When he lost to Diaz, it's I want this one back. Like same rules, same circumstances. This time, like no punches pulled. I'm going to go back. I'm going to do it. And you saw him get in there. You saw him make some adjustments and you saw him pull it off. So he created this effect and belief, like this guy's confidence, this guy's determination, this guy's ability to execute when it really matters, to reinvent himself. It's this idea behind him that I don't really know if it's justified, and I don't know if against Poirier can even come close to, or the type of adjustments he made will be nearly as effective. The two big adjustments for Diaz were like, let me not throw these crazy spinning kicks and just go for the knockout, and let me really conserve myself, not get drawn into firefights, and understand that I probably can't knock this guy out. Against Poirier, he's got to do the opposite. He's got to throw more spinning kicks. He's got to try and knock him out quicker. Because if it goes into deep waters, I'd favor Poirier all the way. He showed that his striking timing, his striking defense are there, and McGregor is just not a 5-round fighter. He never has been, and he never will be. The way he tries to punch, the force he puts in, you just can't do it with his body type for 25 minutes. So he's got to go back to the drawing board and say, okay, I did maybe a 6 out of 10 last time. How do I really knock him out? And I think Dustin Poirier did everything perfectly. He grappled at the opportunity he got. He put some wear and tear into McGregor's muscles. He kicked out the legs when it was there. I'm sure Conor is going to have practice checking his calf kicks, but people who think that's the only reason Dustin won aren't paying attention to the main thing, which is McGregor landed, and it really didn't do that much to Dustin. Dustin was able to eat McGregor's shots, and they hurt. They made him be careful. Yeah, he doesn't want 3 more of those in the next 5 seconds, but it's not that featherweight touch of death that Deontay Wilder, I need to be perfect for 2 seconds. And Conor McGregor at featherweight was very good at finding his moments to be perfect for 2 seconds. But at lightweight, it seems like that's not enough. Even like the Alvarez fight, he landed on him hard in the first minute of that fight, but it didn't knock him out. It took like 7-8 minutes of like perfect dominant work to get to that knockout point. And Dustin Poirier has too much mental confidence, too good striking defense to shell up and clam out like Eddie Alvarez did. He's not going to give McGregor that kind of opportunity. So McGregor needs to find several perfect shots. And I just don't, of course, anything can happen, but I think Poirier showed the striking defense, the wherewithal of what kind of power McGregor does have, but the ability to neutralize, negate that power, and the offensive ability to continue to threaten as soon as the most dangerous moments of McGregor's fight are through. And that's exactly what happened the last time. It does seem like McGregor, one difference we can already see in his approach is the mental. No more Mr. Nice Guy, which I love. There's not going to be any excuses when whatever happens. The only thing I hate about this matchup is the fact that Conor could potentially get a title shot if he somehow beats Dustin, which would be absurd. His first lightweight win since knocking out Eddie Alvarez way back like 5-6 years ago. That it's a weird trilogy where the first win took place like 6-7 years ago. And so if Dustin wins, it feels like, yes, that's cemented. If Conor wins, I'd almost want to see a fourth, but I feel like 2 years is the right time span for a trilogy.